Hi, I'm Amy Goulet, and this is my introduction video. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Garden City, Kansas. I got my undergrad from Wichita State University. I currently live in Garden City, Kansas, so I came back. I teach first grade, and I have taught first grade this whole time I've been teaching, and this is my 5th year teaching. I recently got engaged to my fiance, James, who's in the picture, obviously. And I'm just super busy. On top of just, being a teacher, let alone, that's busy enough. I also work part-time at a salon, and I'm doing my practicum this class and another class so that I can graduate in December. Planning my wedding because we get married in May, a week after school's out. And I'm involved in our building leadership team at my elementary school. And I'm a sponsor for our 4th grade robotics club. So, sometimes I'm not sure about how sane I really am, but here I am. I'm trying to truck right along. My educational experience, I student taught in Wichita, Kansas at an elementary school and an early childhood school because I minored in early childhood unified. Like I said, this is my 5th year teaching currently, and I started my master's last fall, so I'm kind of going through it really fast. Why do politics influence schools but not necessarily move school leaders to take action? I think that politics have a huge influence on schools, whether they are educated about their opinion or not. As we all know, being in the education career, that oftentimes politicians like to create policies or budgets, and they aren't 100% educated to make that decision, which can be very frustrating. I think school leaders do need to keep up to date on politics because the politics decisions have a huge impact on us in the schools and the districts. But ultimately, I think that the school leaders are going to do what's in best interest of the students and their staff members at the end of the day. Why did standards focus on outcomes and seemingly split the work and skills of a profession from the knowledge and wisdom of that profession? So in Chapter 1, it talked about how politics really should belong in the classroom because that's when you're introducing the idea, and that's when students, just like with anything else you're bringing to the table in your classroom, that's when students are getting that experience and that knowledge. But I think that it could create a lot of awkward conversations, in a sense, for school leaders and teachers, just because teachers are supposed to be, and school leaders, educators, I guess, in general, are supposed to be so unbiased to one way or the other. And specifically, I think more so in the older grades, I could see where those conversations could get really heated and opinionated, and that would be kind of hard to, manage in a way. Why the standards evolved to explicitly call for students' school leaders' direct action. Okay, so based on years of experience with the importance of politics in the classroom, it is a sensitive subject for school leaders, like I had just said. It's something that they need to know about, but it's also, it's a very fine line you can ride as an educator. I think overall, sorry, this long week at school. I think overall, Um, the educators and school leaders all need to coordinate and communicate the same goal in mind when it comes to politics in the classroom. I think if you communicate that same goal, then it will hopefully alleviate some of those awkward, tense conversations that could come up. Why must school leaders become political activists on behalf of the students and their families? Um, it is good to introduce politics to students, making sure going back again, to the older kids, making sure they understand the importance of getting involved with politics to an extent, and how they can really make an impact on their community and their life. But still keeping students' best interest in mind. If it's something that's not going to benefit them, then it really shouldn't be discussed, in my opinion. Why do politics surrounding educational policies provide the strongest connection between what school leaders feel and do? Okay, so this is a big, we do it because we have to. School leaders, I'm really, really close to my school principal, which is nice. We have a very honest relationship, and a lot of it is just you do it because you have to. That's the rule. Those are the guidelines. So I have to do those policies. They do play a huge role on the impact politics have on a student's school experience, because if a school leader tells classroom teachers, hey, you need to implement politics in this way, or so many times, or whatever the goal is, then a classroom teacher has to do that because their principal, their boss says so. So they do have a huge role on the impact that politics can have in the classroom. My personal critique. Personally, I find myself to be uneducated to many political issues, because I just don't have an interest in it. It's a whole bunch of hubble jubble to me. I've just never really latched on to anything political that just really made me addicted to watching or continuing to learn about. So it's not hard for me at all to be unbiased when I bring something up in the classroom that might pertain to politics. And also going back, since I am a first grade teacher, we're talking about kids that are 6 and 7 years old. In my opinion, I feel that's too young to fully understand the impact politics have. So other than understanding the basics of voting and presidents and stuff like that, like the very, very, very basic of politics, I really don't have a need to bring it up in my classroom. And my personal improvement, I should need to try to find some interest in politics and self-educate myself, and then continue to reach out to my building leader and my principal, who I have that close relationship with, if I have questions about something, especially whenever it does regard to politics. Alrighty. Sorry that was so long. Can't wait to work with y'all this semester.